Hey, hello. Want to respond to a dear friend of mine, Diane, who asked a series of questions, which was top of the list of who to advertise to, and in what demographic do I want at the event, and how can I be sure that they come along without shooting myself in the foot by making the demographic too tight? Well, this is a fantastic question, and it is one that is completely beyond the scope of just a quick little video email. But first things first, I want to let you know if you are the quality of your questions tells me you've been doing some of your homework and that you are preparing yourself for some really substantial and fantastic marketing. Even your second question, which is what incentive do they have to come along, and what should I offer as an incentive without it costing me an arm and a leg due to low budget? And the final question, which was how do I wish to brand myself for these events, as in if my demographic are professionals, do I hold the event at a five-star hotel with wine and cheese? Or if they're young backpackers, do I hold the event in a pub and offer them free beer? So first and foremost, you demonstrate some good basic understanding of who we want to target, why we want to target them, and how we want to draw them in. The first piece to me is this, that if you have not participated in the Entrepreneurs Bootcamp that I offer through the Grow Up with my partner Colin Collard, it would be really wise and prudent. In fact, that event is happening in Edmonton on this weekend. Now, Colin is one of the most brilliant strategists in putting some of these pieces together. Can channel business models like I've never seen anyone else in my life. That being said, I'm going to take a quick run at your three questions. Top of the list is this: who to advertise, as in what demographic do I want? How do I make sure it's not too narrow? Well, here's the thing. You want to be as narrow as you possibly can, because it is far better to go after one particular demographic and have 5 or 7 or 10 of the right people there who you can speak to directly, and you know their hot buttons, and you can poke the hot buttons and speak their language and know what motivates them, know what they're worried about, know what's keeping them up at night. So I would far sooner you have a small event that is directly targeted where you can speak their language than have a larger event where there's a whole bunch of people who aren't really reading your mail, aren't really getting what you're saying. So zone in, don't worry if it's too small. Clearly there's some economics you've got to figure out, but far better it'd be to have 5 people who really want what you offer than 50 people who are just around for the freebie, which takes you to the next question in terms of the incentive. The incentive does these days need to be competitive, but perhaps more than anything else, the incentive needs to speak the language of your demographic. What is it they are most interested in? What is the information that they require most significant? Marketing Millionaire is this fundamental idea that the right information for the right person at the right time, think how brilliant Google was, is worth an inordinate amount. So don't get too carried away with what you have to give them. Get really carried away with what's the information that they require. What is it that's keeping them up at night? And how can you incent them? Give them information up front that brings them out to the event, and utilize the event as a conversion method. That's one of the fundamental ideas that we use in the event Marketing Millionaire. Make sure that you speak their language and hook them. And the last part is, how do I wish to brand myself for these events? Well, without knowing more about what the actual product and service is, I think that you already have a pretty good idea. You want the environment to speak the language of the people that you're dealing with. And ideally, the environment is going to serve and support them in the conversion process in terms of whatever it is that you are trying to do to get them to take action on. So use your noggin, be very clear about, there's certainly some economics that are going to be involved in terms of if you're getting a 5-star hotel and wine and cheese, that can burn through a budget pretty quickly, but depending upon what you're selling, sometimes it only takes 1 or 2 people when we consider what their lifetime value as a client is to make that more than worth its while. So Dianne, I hope that was a good start. I hope that assists you in getting on the right track. I do truly want to encourage you to consider taking the Entrepreneurs Bootcamp in Edmonton that's coming up this weekend. And Event Marketing Millionaire as it comes up. If you want to be more specific with your questions, I'd be happy to answer. Thanks. Bye.